So we got a Seiko Samurai on a NATO strap. Take a look at that dial. Take a quick gander at the case. And at the crown. It's a pretty cool watch. Let's see here. We could read off some of the dimensions. So we got a Seiko Samurai srpb99. That's the Patty version. You kind of see that dial now, that wave dial. It's got a Seiko 23 jewel 4R35 movement, and that is the date, not the day date. The day date I think would be the 4R36. The case is stainless steel, and it is 43.8 millimeters wide, not including the crown, by 13.5 millimeters thick. So it's a fairly thick sucker. By 48 millimeters lug to lug. And it's got a Hardlux crystal that's not sapphire, but I don't detect any scratches on it. It's pretty tough stuff. And the lume is Lumibrite, Seiko's Lumibrite, which is nice, very nice. And I don't know in the light you can tell very well, but the hour markers on the hour hand are kind of a blue, and I believe that the minute hand is kind of glows more of a green. It's a little bit different color. It's pretty cool. And then the bezel, 120 click, unidirectional. And it has good alignment all the way around. Very nice. Good solid clicks. Not so much as some other watches with their bezels, but I've noticed that all the Seikos are pretty much the same. So yeah, I got this watch 2 years ago, wore it on a fire assignment or two, and you know, I didn't really care for it too much. But then again, this year, I thought, yeah, we'll just give her another go. So I've been wearing this now on the assignment that I'm on currently, and it's running about 6 seconds slow, about a minute or a second and a half per day slow. And I don't know if that, you know, how all movements kind of act a little bit differently, I think. If it's hot out, they'll slow down. It's actually been a pretty cold assignment, generally pretty cool weather. Still running a little slow, and I think that might be because I keep it wound up pretty tight. Because on this assignment, I'm doing a lot of running, a lot of jogging. So I think this thing stays pretty wound up, and I think when it's wound fully, it might run a little slow. That might be part of it. Because generally, I prefer them running fast. But second half per day, 2 seconds per day isn't bad. So I can't complain. So you can see on the case, it's brushed, polished. Got a polish under here, brushed on the side. The crown's kind of got a bevel that's polished, and then that nice knurling on the crown. And brushed on the end. You got that coin bezel. It's a pretty cool watch, kind of industrial. Samurai, I don't know, it's kind of reminiscent of old feudal Japan architecture or samurai helmets. Handsets, I like the handset. I wish those hands though kind of went out closer to the minute markers. You can see that the minute markers have actually fractions in there. So it's 21,600 beats per hour on the movement, 6 ticks per second. which I think is pretty bomb proof generally. I think Seiko movements are very durable. I have a few Seikos, and this one's lived kind of a hard life. Short life, kind of hard. Stand by. Alrighty, so I'm back without the band, the strap, the NATO strap. Let's take a look at the back here. It's got the wave. It's pretty nice. A little bit of polishing, a little bit of brushing. So you can see that it's got the Seiko fat bar here, and then the other one's skinny. That's because I was on a zip line and I went through some cedar branches and it ripped my watch off. So I had to put this other bar on. But the watch is fine. I didn't detect any wear on here, on the lugs themselves. Just had to replace the thing. I'm glad I was wearing that NATO strap though, or else I probably would have lost the watch or broken it. Otherwise, the watch didn't. It's a pretty tough watch. You know, tough case. It's solid stainless steel. It's pretty heavy. It's always a good sign of reliability. So this version I don't think is available anymore. They've been out for a while, and I think they're discontinued now. Like I said, I got this a couple years ago, and they were still available then online. You can still find these, I'm sure, on eBay or something. And they have kind of like the same design on the turtle, and then the what is it? The monster has the Patty monster is a little bit different, at least the current one. But I have a couple Seikos, and I like them a lot. And this one I've actually grown to like more. I just like the dial and the bezel and the case for that matter. Even on that NATO strap, I can put that back on real quick. Yeah, even on this NATO strap, it rides even higher. So I mean, that's a 13.5 millimeter thick watch. And then you add a couple layers of nylon to that. It doesn't ride high. It doesn't seem to. It seems to ride pretty flat and pretty comfortably. It doesn't bounce around or anything. It did come on the metal bracelet, which I didn't care for. I do have a couple watches with the metal bracelets I do like, which is interesting. I never thought I would. But, you know, the Seiko ones, if you've ever had a Seiko bracelet, they're kind of jangly and kind of a pain in the ass to work with, really, the pin and collar system. And I pretty much, I think if I ever, you know, when I get a Seiko watch, I'll just toss the bracelet immediately. Maybe an aftermarket bracelet, because like I said, I actually do kind of like those, like metal bracelets if they're good. But the Seiko ones just tend to, I don't like them. I don't like how they wear. And this is a NATO strap I got from NWC Watches when I ordered a watch a while back, and it's very comfortable. Like I put this watch on, it's a good match. And I mean, I have 7.25 inch wrists. And I think all wrist has to do with wrist shape, not just wrist size, but like if you have kind of a tapered wrist or like a more of a flat wrist as opposed to a round. I don't know. I think 7.25 and up, or you know, anywhere from 6.5. I don't know. Whatever. I think it's fine. It rides fine on my wrist. And then kind of a comparison here. I do have my Garmin Phoenix 7X, which is 51 millimeter case, which is huge. So and I mean, you can tell it is bigger than that Seiko, but not by like too much. That just shows how big the Seiko is, but it doesn't ride that way. I mean, it doesn't bounce around your wrist at all. So just kind of the design. So yes, highly recommended Seiko. $300+, maybe a little bit less if you get the pro specs like this. But if you want a bomb-proof dive watch, I do dive, and these are ISO certified, which means that they are super special. And it's the PADI version. Professional Association of Divers International. I don't know. something like that. But all their Pro Specs models are certified, which means they've been tested in actual water tested, pressure tested. So they're legit. I do enjoy scuba diving. I am not a licensed scuba diver though, but I do appreciate it. All right, that's all I got. Have a good one.